One of the best things you can do today if you're a startup founder is build a media company. Now, this doesn't mean you need to have a podcast and another platform and a newsletter and a bunch of stuff. You need to find really two good formats to build your content brand and elevate your company. Like that's literally all it takes. Today, I want to get into how and why you should do this. Let's break it down. What's up, people? I'm Chris. Welcome to the show Next Round Ready, where I talk startups, interview VCs, all that good stuff. And I want to get into this media brand thing because I heard Gary Vee say this years ago, and I think it's even more important now than ever before, specifically for startup founders. Like, look at the startup landscape. You can use Replit to build tools within minutes. That's my favorite platform, by the way. Shout out to Replit. You can use No Code and Bubble, right, to go and build something that's a little more complex and it takes some time. It can be more sophisticated, but you can still build really, really good products really fast. And beyond that, you can still hire developers around the world to make the products that you want to see exist in the world. It's not super easy, like no brainer, but at this point, it has never been easier to build a product. Never. I think it's going to get easier, but where we are now, it is incredibly easy, which means there's going to be a ridiculous amount of competition. Therefore, you as a founder, you gotta prioritize your marketing. And I say this all the time, but I think now it's becoming more and more important. Right? Because with AI coming out now where you can go and make all of these videos and put in the prompt and it makes a whole person for you, that's great. It sounds good. But the problem with that is everybody's going to have access to it. Everybody can do the same thing you can do with AI. And are you going to go and learn AI prompting and all of that, take courses on that, get certified? Like, no, probably not. You're too busy running your company. So the best thing to do is to make great content. When I bring this up, I always get a lot of pushback in terms of why is this really important? And I get a bunch of examples of people that have built massive companies not having to take this approach. The problem is those companies usually have a ton of funding, right? And when I say a ton, I mean millions and millions of dollars, because then they can just pour money into advertising where they're never not in front of you, where you go to their website once and they retarget you for a month. And even if you click one button on their social profile and they just spam you nonstop, like you just get ads everywhere, and they have money to do that. And then some of the other companies, they started off with a super competitive advantage. Like it was just ridiculous. All right. They went to Stanford and they have all the connections and it was easy for them to get PR. Like they didn't have to work for or pay for it. Like you don't have any of that. You don't. And if you don't have that, you've got to take an alternate route. The alternate route is content. I'm telling you, it is the best thing you can do. Like content is so good. Some of those bigger brands that exist are multi-billion-dollar companies at this point. They make content. Like HubSpot makes a ton of content, blog posts, YouTube videos, podcasts, newsletter. Like they do a ridiculous amount of content. A16Z, Y Combinator, some of the companies that fund the biggest companies release a ton of content. I don't get how you as a founder can see them making that content and then think, I shouldn't do that. Like, no, that's the only thing you should be doing. Like, that's the only thing. Can you do other things? Yeah, but that's like the most important thing to do. So let me get into the how and all of this. Okay, so I think the first thing you should do is to figure out your format. But I won't even say figure out, commit to video. Video is going to be the best. It's going to be the most beneficial, the fastest. Like it does take time to get better at video, to get a bunch of equipment and tools and stuff. It takes time to get there. Very true. But it's going to yield you the best results. The best. Blogging works, but like you don't really get a ton of results from that. Like SEO, again, AI slop is going to take over the SEO world, bro. Where I see people now who are literally going out there and putting out 1,000 blog posts in a week, literally hundreds of blog posts in a day through just using AI. It's a bunch of slop. It's crap. It's not good. And it could get you a little bit of attention, but all the time, energy, and money you put into doing that, you could put into making a handful of videos that do way better. That's just the truth. Video content is going to be way better. If I sit here and record for 20 minutes talking like this, I can then chop this up into a bunch of different formats, and then I can still take this video and make the blog post that the other guy made, but mine is going to be way better because it's coming from a quality piece of content, which is video. It's not just all AI. You know what I mean? Because eventually Google and all of these platforms, the search platforms, are going to catch up with this, and it can really tell if you use AI to write it or not. Once that's very clear, you get pushed to the bottom of those search rankings. That fast. A lot of people think they have an advantage because they can put out all of the blog posts really, really fast, but it's all AI slop, bro. It's not good. I would rather sit here and record for 20 minutes, edit for 45, and then I have a quality piece of content that you can listen to on a podcast, you can watch on YouTube, you see clips on Twitter, you see clips on LinkedIn. So much better, 10 times better than me wasting away writing crappy blog posts. Now, when you do video content, keep it simple. Simply sit in front of the camera like this, think about one problem you know your market has, and talk about that problem for 20 minutes straight. That's the easiest way to record video content. When I record, I literally have my camera that you're looking at right here. Under this is a computer with my notes. And my notes is like one bullet point. The problem, the solution. That's it. That's all you need to make quality content. Yeah, you can have all the other fancy stuff and you can improve cameras and microphones over time. But the truth is, all you really need, your phone and the problem you want to talk about and how you're going to solve that problem. I could do the same thing if I just had my iPhone and I set it up hanging from the ceiling. I promise you, I've done it before. That's where I started before I got the equipment. That's how I know you can make good content and make content that actually is going to benefit your business without having all of these crazy tools and pieces of equipment. It's nice to have, but do you need it? No, I don't have to have this. I can still get busy without it. You know what I'm saying? You got to have that kind of, I think, determination when it comes to the content game, because that first 3, 4, 5, 6 months, you might not get a lot of traction, but eventually it's going to take off. And when it takes off, it will change your life. Now, the second thing, after you commit to this process of, I'm going to solve the problem, I'm going to do just straight to camera, ranting, like keep it simple. Once you get past that, the second thing is your cadence. This is huge. You want to be consistent when you start putting out content. And now consistency looks like, for me, 2 episodes per week. One with me talking like this, another one with a guest. That's simple. That's enough content to start building traction, because again, when you do video, I can take those videos and I have a bunch of other pieces of content I make from said video. Like, video is king in content because everything else comes from that. I can make graphics. I can make infographics if I want to, make the clips. I can make quote cards, all kind of things. I got options. I can do whatever. Right. So committing to a cadence of twice a week when you post your videos, 2 times a week, that's not a lot. Now, in the beginning, if you don't have people you want to interview or whatever, I don't think you have to start a podcast. You don't have to make it that formal. You can literally just have people you want to talk to and say, look, I want to talk to you about this problem people face in our marketplace. The funny thing is, most of the time when you ask people that way, they say yes. It's that easy. Now you take that conversation, you record it with you and this person, and you can upload that as content. You can break it down into small pieces of content. You got your content. And now you have your cadence twice a week. 2 times a week is good, because if you do once a week, like a lot of people start off doing on YouTube, that's only 50 videos in a year. It's not a lot. If you do twice a week, you can break through that algorithm twice as fast. You start learning what titles are working, what thumbnails are working more than others. Like, I learn twice as fast as you do because I'm putting out way more content than you. See, if I only focused on doing the small stuff and the little small steps, I'm not going to really get any traction. Once a week is not enough. I'm not learning enough. I'm not going fast enough. For me, I'm trying to move at high speeds, right? So I like to give me 2 a week, right? And really pushing it, because as you start to do that every single week, you build up this momentum, and you start moving faster. People start recognizing you more. You get more and more connections, more and more opportunities, because you're showing up. This is another reason why video is good. When I show up on camera talking like this about the things I know about, it just has a way bigger impact. Like, I'm literally have a series on TikTok right now where I'm just talking about everything I learned studying venture capital, the history of it, the biggest deals, all of this stuff. Like, I'm building that connection with my audience because they see me, a real person, talking to them every day. So let's say I go to an event, some startup event, and they see me, they want to come and talk to me. That's not going to have the same effect if I'm writing blog posts. If it's just a newsletter, can it work? Yes. But willing to get on camera like this, most people are terrified of it. So when you're one of the small people that do it, you win. Now I'm going to give you a bonus tip here. Specificity. This is something that I didn't realize I was getting good at until I got good at it. Like, it took me some time. A few years ago, when I was in the podcasting space and I would help people with their podcasts, it went from like content creators to podcasters to business podcasters. And that's so specific that when I make content and talk about something, I get attention like that. Now, it might not sound significant, but I'm telling you, it's so great when you make content and it immediately catches the attention of the right person. I've had this happen on LinkedIn before where I'm making a video like this and I'm thinking of one specific person while I'm making a content and I'm solving a problem, and I put the video out and that person comments like, wow, this is really helpful. That's when I know I have a really quality piece of content. That's what you want to go for. You can't get that if you're not being ultra specific. Like, and I like to go layers deep. So you can't just say entrepreneurs or content creators. No, it has to go layers deep. Like, if I'm going to talk to YouTubers, it would be YouTubers. And then it would be, let's say sports YouTubers or gamers. And it'll be first person shooter gamers, right? Like, that's layers deep on a specific topic. That's going to have a way better impact than just talking to YouTubers or gamers. You know what I'm saying? So if I have a tool that is B2B SaaS where, it's a CRM, something super generic, I would make a CRM specifically for a certain type of person so that when I'm talking about, I make content about solving the CRM problems, they know I'm talking to them. That is way better than just, hey, I have a CRM, go and check it out. Like, no, I made this CRM for single moms who have online businesses, or for college students that are freelancing in photography or videography. Like, that's super specific. And that's how you build a massive company. You start off small and then you scale out to everybody else, right? Like, Facebook was really small to just college students and then to scale to the world. If you start off with a small, like tiny bit of your market, you dominate there, it's going to eventually seep out to everybody else and have a major impact. So just a nice bonus for you right there. But man, if you got any other questions about this, make sure you subscribe to the Hindsight Marketing newsletter. If you listen on the podcast, I appreciate you. If you're watching on YouTube, I definitely appreciate you, man. Thank you for tuning in. If you got any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'm Chris. I will see you next time.